Okay, good evening, gentlemen. It's Tuesday night. It's the 18th of April. It's not really quite spring just yet, but let's all keep thinking positive. And if you've just if you've just tuned into this and you're watching on replay, then a very, very good day or good evening or good whatever to you. Okay, I'll just briefly say hello to people. Reborn Etsy and Betsy, yellow polka dot bikini. Nice to hear from you. Gemini Star, nice to hear from you. Brian Steed, even though I was in bed at 9 p.m. last night, but awake for the first time. Ben, okay, nice to hear from you. Seamus Doherty, good to hear from you as well. I have got my, I've now got my regular cup of hot chocolate. I really, really like this. Lovely stuff. That's so damn good. Oh, there's a lot more. All of a sudden, it's all gone crazy here. Seamus Richie Doe, Neil Fleet, nice to hear from you all. David Martins, Sean Harris, Reggie Tricker, nice to hear from you guys. Alpha Interactions, Eddie booked a 10-week trip to Southeast Asia tonight. November to February. That sounds bloody good, that, mate. Good for you. Tell us more about it. Delayed Dave, nice to hear from you. David Coleman. David Coleman, hi Eddie. I hope all is well. Let's talk about something important today. Is that like saying that we weren't talking about things important last night? Oh yeah, we got this. So even some of the stuff that you may be interested in, David. David Heisberg, good evening. Dickie B, Gemini Star, good evening. Okay, we're 43 minutes. No, we're not 43 minutes into this. Just a couple of minutes into this, there's 43 people watching. So this hot chocolate, lovely stuff. Oh, that is so nice. That is so bloody good. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dickie B, hello, good evening. Borders Boy, nice to hear from you. Dickie B, just watch that Raoul Moat thing. Is that like a TV documentary about Raoul Moat? Jesus, he really, really made an impact, really. He captured the people's imagination there for a brief while, but some years back. I remember I was in a bar somewhere, and there was a comedian there, and a comedian singer. And he wasn't getting much response from his audience, and he shouted out to the audience, "Come on, liven up, you bastard! You look like you're waiting for Raoul Moat to show up." Well, I thought that was quite funny. Anyway, okay. I do believe in fairies. Nice to hear from you, mate, and it's good that you're giving up the booze. Gaz77. Hi, Eddie. I've got a new. Oh, he was into robbing cars. We've got to put this on the screen. He's into stealing cars these days. Gaz77. Hi, Eddie. I got a new car today for free. I took it for a test from the garage, and I got lost, so I couldn't return it to the garage. Did you deliberately get lost by any chance? Sean Harris. Sean Harris. Sean, Ed, would you rather have a gothic vampire chick or a hairy werewolf woman take you to bed? Definitely a gothic vampire chick. I like hairy women, but as long as they're hairy in the right places, I don't want them hairy all over. Definitely a hairy vampire thing. Woman. David Coleman, just watching a video on a monkey in Thailand. I hate monkeys. Oh, they're bastards. Those ones are ugly as well, and some of the bigger ones, they look actually quite scary. People allow them to people allow them to jump on the heads and all kinds of things. Oh, not for me, not for me. Super nice. Hot chocolate better than beer, but if it's lots of sugar, it's probably worse. I like it. Yeah, but the thing is, I only took a couple of these as opposed to the eight or 10 beers that I was drinking before. Oh, that's lovely. That's like nice for a cold winter's evening. Well, it feels like a cold winter's evening. Barry from EastEnders, nice to hear from you. Sean Harris, monkeys can be vicious little blighters, absolutely. Alpha Interactions is starting off. Yeah, I'll put this on the screen. Let's see. Alpha Interactions. Eddie starting off in Pattaya in November for 3 weeks. Well, that's a good start. Flying to Cambodia after and see what goes after that. Where would you reckon is another good place to visit Thailand? To visit in Thailand? Well, I mean, I did a trip like that, and then I went to Malaysia, which didn't always go down well with everyone. Another good place in Thailand. Well, a lot of people like Chiang Mai. I mean, that's a city. I'm not really that keen on it, but a lot of people really say Chiang Mai is an essential city to visit. It's quite cultural, and also in Thailand, you've got the wonderful islands of Phuket and lots of lovely islands. A nearby island to Pattaya. I mean, well, I would rather like Koh Lan, but Koh Samet has got beautiful beaches, and Koh Chang, I mean, that's not too far away either. So you're spoiled for choice, really. Let's see. Okay, where are we? Donald Trump is in the house. Good evening, Mr. President. In UK, JJ's in. Nice to hear from you, mate. Ian UK, I had 2 weeks on Friday. I'm off to Pat for 3. Oh God, everyone's going to Pat here except for me. In UK, 2 weeks. I'll put that on the screen. In UK, I had 2 weeks on Friday. I'm off to Pattaya for 3 weeks, and looking forward to it. First time in May for me. Good for you, mate. Good for you. I'm sure there's plenty going on. I went there in May once and it was raining a lot, but maybe I was just unlucky. You might be lucky with the weather, but good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. I'm sure you're going to have a great time. Yeah, Sean Harris. What's Gaza up to again? Okay. Sean Harris. Ed, what's the most expensive city you've visited? The most expensive city? Oh, it was probably one that I didn't stay very long. Well, Bangkok can be quite expensive these days if you go around the touristy areas, but it doesn't have to be. An expensive city really is one where you've got to pay a high price for the accommodation, and a high price for the accommodation. Oh well, there's some places where I tend to aim for cities, so I deliberately avoid expensive cities. So I suppose. I suppose Berlin. I suppose Amsterdam. Yeah, probably Amsterdam. Amsterdam's probably the most expensive city I've visited. Very expensive at accommodation, expensive for beer, but it's a great city. I mean, it's a terrific city, and I would go there again. It's bloody good stuff. Amsterdam is quite expensive, but it's worth it. London Cab Thailand. Nice to hear from you, mate. Gaz. Gaz is putting some serious input here. Gaz 77. I picked a big tip long notebook today while taking the car for the test run, and I got lost in a big tit and could find the way back to the garage. So now the car is in the driveway, and you're stuck between Bristol Rovers. Very, very good for you. Very Bristol Cities. Chris, what happened to your connection? The quality is terrible. Well. The long-running saga of the internet. It's coming in a couple of weeks' time, beginning of May. So, I was faced with maybe not doing. The internet's gone down the Swanee River. I was faced with not doing this. For a month or so. People said, maybe this will carry on. There's nothing else happening anyway. So the internet has gone down the Swanee River. I know that. But the better internet is coming in a couple of weeks' time. Sean Harris will be in Pattaya for 3 days, 26th to the 29th of May, if anyone is around. Okay, fair enough. David Coleman, have you ever stayed at a hotel right on Beach Road at Pattaya? They have some very nice ones. That's for me. Well, you've got that Art Deco hotel, the Waves. I mean, that's right on Beach Road. But I went in there. I went to the reception. I inquired about how much that's going to be, and it was very, very, very expensive. I think the hotel I did stay in on Beach Road was right down the other end, around Soy 6 end. It was the A1 Royal Cruise Hotel, the one that's shaped like a big liner. I stayed in that one, and that was quite nice. That was a nice place. I like that. Paul Hoskin, they don't want mongers in Amsterdam. I think they don't want British people in Amsterdam. I think that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, where was this one? Roy Jones just checked in with Eva Air for Thursday night to Bangkok. John T.M. quieter. I'm nearly 10 years older than you, Ed. The quiet life. Well, good for you. You know, the quiet life. You know, I mean, if you really wanted a quiet life, would you really be going to Pattaya or John T.M.? And I think, you know, I might like a little bit of the naughty stuff as well. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Sounds lovely. Absolutely. Alpha Interactions. Ed, I've been to Hua Hin. I took the ferry from Pattaya. You know, have you ever been to Udon Thani or Nakhon Sawan? I haven't been to those places. I've been told that Udon Thani is where to visit, but I never got around to it. I've been to Hua Hin. You went on the ferry from Pattaya pre-pandemic. Yeah, because it's cancelled now, that ferry. But Hua Hin's a good place. It's always worth a visit. Gaz77, you're getting smuttier and smuttier. Yeah, Richard, though, Singapore is probably the most expensive city in Southeast Asia. A very safe and clean country, though. Went last year and will go again. Really, not for me. It's notoriously expensive. Very, very notoriously expensive. And also, I haven't heard that many good reviews of it, so I just a bit of a mess. Oh, bloody good. Lovely hot chocolate there. Okay, so let's get on with some interesting questions, okay? Now, some of you will probably know. Let me just delete that one there. And that one. And that one, yes. Okay. You'd have to delete some of these banners on there on StreamYards. Otherwise, you know, there's only a limited space. Otherwise, it won't let you put your comment on there. Okay, so let's see. So many of you will know that in Britain at 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, this coming Sunday, which will be, I believe that's the 23rd of April, at 3 p.m. there will be some sort of alarm going off on your mobile phone. And basically, it will be a test. This alarm going off on your mobile phone, you know, to prove that you will answer your mobile phone when they say, whoever they are, you know, the powers that they say that you are. Okay, let's see. Let's see. And a lot of people are rightly very, very suspicious about this, extremely suspicious about all what's going on. Do you ever get the feeling something is going on? Big Brother is out there. Big Brother is watching you, and Big Brother is finding more and more methods to control you. So it's all going on, and it's all connected. And what is the ultimate plan? So the question is, alarms, 15-minute cities, smart cities, are they trying to control us? What do you think? I know what I bloody think. Okay. There we go. Hot chocolate. Okay, hot chocolate. Pull the other one. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Singapore's, okay. Yeah, we put, yeah, it is a fake on it, but it's not really a fake. It's not a, it's not a, it's a fake that you can spot easily anyway. But anyway, there you go. That's probably not his real name. Yeah, let's see. David Coleman. David Coleman. I keep seeing the Natural Beach Hotel. It is not the best, but looks clean with the pool and right on Beach Road, cheap from $40 US. That sounds good. As soon as I think I passed that one on Beach Road. I would have passed it. I thought, oh, I've got to go into that one. The Nature's Beach Hotel. I've got to go into that one. They're all going to be naked. And then thought, no, it's the Natural Beach Hotel. Oh, what a disappointment. Sean Harris, do you remember Land of the Giants and the Champions? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I had a shout at Alexander Bastardo. But she was only very, very young. You know, she was only about 20 when she was playing that part. She looked a lot older. Land of the Giants, yeah, absolutely, yeah, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. But I did like the Champions. Scars 77. Do you want any shopping done, Eddie? I think there's something in it for you, isn't it, mate? Shane W. Hot Chocolate, pull the other one. I'm sure, yeah. Paul Oscar, he's shopping for fingers. Yeah, David Coleman. The UK is becoming a dictatorship. Wow, 1984. Yeah, George Orwell. Gorilla in Manila. Going in hard. Switched on or off it. Brown Street, switched on or off it will alert you. It's an alert. You know, for the mobile phone, what it is, it's in case something happens. Now, what they're saying is they've got hold of everyone's phone number, everyone's mobile phone. And basically what it's saying is that if something happens, I suppose it means like a terrorist incident, you know, a severe weather warning, they can alert you. They can alert you on your mobile phone to let you know what's happened immediately, wherever you are. But do you think that's all there is to it? Do you not think there's an ulterior motive? Do you not think that they want to know where you are? They're demanding to know where you are. And if there's something that they insist on do, you better do it because they know where you are and they know how to get you. There's something very, very dubious about all of this. Chaz Brown, okay? Chaz Brown. Chaz Brown just went into the settings on my Android phone to switch off emergency alerts so I won't be disturbed by the line government. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. I'm going to leave it on just out of curiosity. David Coleman, answer your phone or you go to the camp. Terrible. Oh my God. Sean Harris, they've always tried to control us. Paul Austin, if I wear my gimp suits everywhere, they won't know who I am. Okay. Brian Street, it'll be loud in a dealer's house. Okay. Gareth said, well, I'll be in Portugal on Friday for 2 months, so I won't get the retarded. They've got it in other countries as well. I think France has tried it. The real Dutch farang. Oh, that's interesting. See, the real Dutch farang. In Holland, we do this every first Monday of the month. Okay, well, that's interesting, isn't it? But it's all about controlling. I mean, think about it. These 15-minute cities that we're hearing an awful lot of, the smart cities, they're not the same thing. A smart city is where you're basically, everything's done by app. You're controlled by an app. Whereas a 15-minute city is where they want to keep you in the one place. They don't want you to move. I mean, the thing is, 15-minute cities, we've already got 15-minute cities. They're called villages. They're called towns. They're basically advocating everyone should live within where everything they need is within 15 minutes walking distance. I mean, basically, this to stop people from traveling. It's basically the super rich. They super rich saying, you poor person, stay there and stay there for whenever I need you because I want to know where you are. It's basically, it's just there's something going on where they're trying to control us. I don't know who it is or what it is, but or what their motivation is, but there's somebody bloody trying to control us. David Coleman, Paul Oscar, I love my fairy dice necklace. Let's see, Chaz Brown. Charles Brown. Government paid nearly six million to some Japanese countries to set that up. Okay, fair enough. Charles Brown, emergency alert system. I mean, you know, the idea that Big Brother wants to know where you are. That's really, really sinister. I don't get me wrong, CCTV. I think CCTV is a good thing because people commit horrendous crimes. I mean, CCTV is there, and it's not always reliable, and there's every chance they may get caught on CCTV. So I'm actually all for that. But I think there's something sinister. I think all of these things that are on the screen here somehow are all connected. And it's the creation of a Big Brother state. And it's not the poor people who are in charge of it. It's the bloody super rich who want to thwart the poor people. Stephen Tursey, even that, it's all to do with artificial intelligence. Okay, thank you. Ed Sweet, oh my God, I'm not reading that out. Shane W, what if you've got an old Nokia? God knows. God knows. They seem to be able to. They seem confident they can find a way to alert you. Gemini Star, that's true. Let me put that on the screen. That's true. Even the phone off, you can be tracked. Absolutely. They want to track and want to know where. They want to control us. They want to know where everybody is at any one time. And this idea of the 15-minute city, if it ever comes about, apparently the idea is that you may end up getting fined if you cross the line outside your border outside the 15-minute city. Jesus Christ. Tampa guy, okay. Let's see, Tampa guy. We have Amber Alerts here in the States, Eddie, usually missing children. Okay, that's fair enough. That's, it sounds like an idea. Paul Hoskin, what if someone don't have a mobile phone? Yeah, that's right. Well, if you don't have a mobile phone, they probably think that you're so poor that we don't bloody need it anyway. I mean, there'll probably be different levels. The poor people are the ones who are going to be tracked and alerted, and the really poor people, are going to be outside. I mean, they won't. Whereas the rest of us may get a bowl of gruel at the bloody warehouse. The super poor who don't have mobile phones, they won't even get that. Oh, they'll find a way of blackmailing you. Shane W, all about console, starting with the pandemic. Okay. Gas 77, how can people get to work within 15-minute cities? Well, the idea is that everything that you need is within 15 minutes walking distance. I mean, you can see where the antivirus is coming in here, the pandemic. You see where it's coming in here. The idea that, they don't want people to go outside. They want to know where you are. And then they brought in this app system, which was a big disaster. I know people who had this app during the pandemic, where if they went outside of their little zone into a zone where there was likely to be some people who actually had the antivirus, it would ping them. And the next thing is they wouldn't be able to go to work for the next couple of weeks. It's so bloody, oh my God, crazy. What a crazy time we're living in. Let's see, okay. David Coleman, something very bad is going on in the UK. What about the crazy guy that jumped on the pool table with the orange powder? Jesus. Well, you know what? It was the old Tango advert, wasn't it? This orange man was out of nowhere. I mean, maybe he was recreating the old Tango advert, and there was two of them, wasn't there? So it's two of those protesters. So maybe it takes two to tango. Get it? Okay. David Coleman, they can't. Okay. London Cab Thailand. London Cab Thailand. I've got some security cameras in my house. I think they do more harm than good. I'm the one probably being watched. Yeah, absolutely. We can watch you through your bloody laptop. It's Zuckerberg. Somebody filmed Zuckerberg's laptop, And apparently over the camera at the top, he's got black tape over there because people could be watching you through your own laptop. Oh, crazy world. It's absolutely a crazy world. David Coleman, all this stuff is being done to control working people, working class. Well, they've always tried to do that, haven't they? You know, they've always tried to, tried to do it. Well, what was the old aristocratic poem? The working classes were born to be asses and not to be aping their betters. Yeah, there's always been a bit of that, isn't there? In Thailand till I die. Hello, Eddie. They won't be alerting me. I'll be putting my phone in a bowl of cold water and then putting it in the freezer. I'm not stupid. Well, it takes a smart man to do that. Absolutely. Shane W, 1984. Absolutely. Big Brother is watching you. Chaz Brown. Once enough drivers have gone to electric cars, the government plans to bring in pay-as-you-drive per mile. Only rich will drive. I think all of this is a long way off, because if you look at some people who've got electric vehicles, the reviews for them are not very good. A lot of them say that they're not really the actual infrastructure for electric vehicles just isn't there. I mean, the amount of charging time, and you can drive around the country in a lot of places. You can be driving around in bloody circles looking for a garage that's actually got a charger there. I heard the one guy, and he went through a frustrating time trying to charge his vehicle. When he finally did, he had to wait in a bit of a queue. It took him an hour or so to charge his vehicle, his electric vehicle up. And during that time, he was seeing petrol and diesel vehicles coming in, filling up, going out, filling up, going out, left, right, and bloody centre, while he was still sitting there like a lemon. No, I don't think electric vehicles are going to really take off. Paul Hoskin, David, I saw that, and a woman tried to glue herself to the other snooker table. A woman tried to glue herself. Well, they're intelligent, aren't they? Really? I mean, that's some great ideas. Gluing herself to the snooker table. Of course, protests like this, and not nothing new. I mean, you go back to the early 20th century, there was the suffragette movement, and we had protests recently at the Grand National. Well, they had protests at the Epsom Derby. Then one of these suffragettes, not the Pankers, I think her name was Emily Davidson. She actually threw herself under the King's horse, didn't she? And was trampled to death. As part of these suffragette protests. Well, she never lived to see that. She never lived to see the day that women actually got the vote. So, crazy. I mean, they were doing crazy things back then. I think the suffragettes chained themselves to railings, didn't they? There was at the Houses of Parliament or Downing Street or something like that. Let's see. Sean Harris. They reckon smart TVs can record what you're doing in your own house. Okay, yeah, absolutely, wouldn't surprise me. I mean, when I come, they recording me when I come out of the shower and I'm stark naked. And I'm bloody wandering around. Imagine, if I've got me TV on and I go and have a shower and then I wander into the living room stark naked, because obviously I'm not going to put any clothes on or anything, because I want to sweat a little bit. So if I'm wandering around the house stark naked, someone's watching me through the TV. I knew exactly who's watching me being stark naked. And is it females there? Are they all sitting there, sitting in the couch? Yeah, here we go. It's 11:30 in the morning, and he's stark naked. Wow, look at him go there. He's got a real frank face, hasn't he? Can you imagine that they might well be doing that in some dingy little office somewhere? I wish he'd send me a video of all of that. Anyway, let's see. Chaz Brown, of course, by going cashless. Okay, here we go. Let me see now. Charles Brown, of course, by going cashless, government also track it. Yeah, yes, yeah. I'll keep using cash as long as I can, though banks close now, line rate. Absolutely. I mean, where I live, there's very, very limited toilet facilities. But if I go for a walk and I want to stop by for a pee, I have to use a bloody credit card. I have to use my credit card. Used to go for a pee. It cost about 30 pence. Oh my God! Imagine when people looking at my credit card statement. Well, he had a piss there. He had a piss there. He had a piss there. Yeah. Whatever. He's clearly a bloody alcoholic, this fella. If that ain't control, Jesus Christ. Mark Hollick is here. Mark Hollick, I put Mark's comment on the screen. Mark Hollick, hi Eddie. Good to see you. 55 degrees and sunny skies here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA, across the pond. Well, that sounds good. Actually, it was quite sunny here today. I mean, there was a little bit of rain later on, but I think we're in for a sunny few days here. But it's not too. It's a little bit warm if you're in the sun in the daytime. But once the sun goes down, it's really, really chilly. But nice to hear from you anyway, Mark. It sounds lovely. 55 degrees and sunny skies. Good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. Nice to hear from you. Let's see. Guys 77, well, that pandemic was a scam. The C word was not a scam. Okay. Yeah, I think we're all starting to think that. Let's see. David Heisenberg. It was a snooker table, not a pool table. Well, that really makes it more intelligent. Sean Harris, Charlie Chaplin or Buster Keaton. Well, I would have said Chaplin was the. I would have said Chaplin was the king, wasn't he? I mean, I'm not. I think Laurel and Hardy were funnier than either of them personally. Paul Hoskin, cameras are watching you everywhere. Yes. David Coleman, the government in Canada wanted us all to put a Insiders app on our phones. Most of us said no way. Good for you. Good for you. Boo-hoo. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Boo-hoo. When people submitted to the jibby jabs, it was game over. They know we won't resist. Yeah, and some people, like some TV and radio presenters were saying that anyone who doesn't have the jab is a villain. You're spoiling it for the rest of us. And I don't know. I think a lot of people are regretting having that now. Yeah, Gas 77. It was up to me. I would get Tyson Fury to beat. They just stop oil people without being charged, and then it would still charge stop the oil people and the sentence them to 25 years. But oh yeah, okay. In other words, I think what you're saying, you want Tyson Fury to beat them all up. Kippo Machmach, how are you? Yeah, I'll put that on there. That's a nice that's a nice gesture. That Kippo Machmach. How are you coping off the bay, Eddie? It's not easy. I'm doing all right. I've been off the bay now for about more than 2 weeks. Well, it's actually 6 weeks ago since I came back from Thailand, and I over the course of the first month, I sort of gradually done it less and less and less. Took it easy, and it's about 16 days now since I even touched a drop of alcohol. I've got no alcohol at home. I've got no plans to buy any. So as far as I know, I'm cured. Thanks for asking anyway. Tampa guy, people take snooker very serious. Says, I'm actually surprised they didn't beat him with the stick. Well, people take all sports serious, don't they? Whether you class snooker as a sport, I don't know. David Coleman, all these crazy protesters need to be going to jail, yeah? David Martin, what are you working on Sunday at 3 o'clock? Well, they'll still find a way to where you are. Stephen Tutty, Laurel or Hardy. Well, Laurel was the really funny one, wasn't he? The thin one. He was the one who did most of the work. And, I think the story is that when Hardy, was, relaxed and having fun, Laurel was working overtime, and that's why he was ultimately the funny one. Hardy was very, very much the straight man, wasn't he? Out of those two, I think a really, really great movie is the one with I think it's called Stan and Ollie, isn't it? I think Stephen, what's his name's in it? Steve Coogan's in it. That's a bloody good movie. I don't know if you've seen that one. Michael Janaeus, nice to hear from you, Michael. Gemini Star, Charlie Chaplin for me. You see, Charlie Chaplin. As far as I know about him, he was actually a victim, wasn't he, of the McCarthy witch hunts? And Charlie Chaplin was British, and the story that I heard of him, he was British, and he made a movie. What was it called? Modern Times, in which it basically made a mockery of like people working like bloody robots, and it was. I think it was said to be quite subversive, that movie. And later, Charlie Chaplin, who was British by birth, left America to go on holiday, and when he came back to America, they wouldn't let him in again. That's what I'm not 100% of that. But that's what I heard many years ago. I don't know. There's always been control out there, and they don't like it when people won't conform. Gas 77. Okay, yeah, Gas 77 wants Tyson Fury to ball up ancestors. Okay, David Coleman. Asma, yeah, you're right at the table. I do know the difference. Okay, here we go. Wayne Davidson, how are you doing? Nice to hear from you, Wayne. Nice to hear from you. Great to hear from you, mate. Wayne's in Scotland anyway, and he's hoping to go to Thailand later in the year. Good for you, mate. David, okay. Scooter Springsteen. Okay. Let me see now. Get that. Scooter Springsteen. Eddie, you've got to remember the first protester who got titties out. Erica Rowe. No, I don't remember that one. She was the one with the big knockers who went topless at Twickenham around about 1982. Wasn't she? And it was in them days. They could actually put titties on the front page of certain. It's all got more. They've clamped down on all of that now. But I think, as I recall, with Erica Rowe, cracking pair of knockers. Afterwards, she all the papers wanted her to pose topless, and she wouldn't do it. I think she basically got her titties out on that day. Simply, maybe she'd had a couple of beers. That's what you do at rugby matches, isn't it? But I think she said she just done it on a whim. I don't think she necessarily wanted to be a part of all that stuff in the newspapers, really. But yeah, very memorable, very memorable. And the thing is, that was shown on all the TV news every day and afternoon and everything. I mean, they were actually less prudish then than they are now, funnily enough. A werewolf, A.J., a werewolf and not by Camilla. How do you know one already hasn't? She is called a Rottweiler, isn't she? W, going to the bush, she said. The government all wants it. David Coleman, the government all want us to be like communist China. The world is very sinister. Our governments in the Western world do not trust China, and yet they seem to be adopting policies that are similar to China's. Maybe they think that's the way to defeat them. Sean Harris, you need to watch the movie Snowden if you want to see what governments can do. Yeah, I'd like to see that one. Yeah, I'd like to see that. If I Google my own name, Edward Sweeney, there's three names. There's three Edward S's that come very close to the top of the list. There's Edward Sweeney, Edward Snowden. I think he's always the first one. And the other one tends to be Edward Scissorhands. So I'm in good company there. McLaren F1 race. Evening, Eddie. I'm starting to not like this larvae therapy. As they're getting fatter, I can feel them quite a bit now, and it ain't nice, but it's the greater good. Okay, good for you, mate. David Coleman, something's very wrong with society when you have to pay to go to the washroom. That's absolutely bizarre. I know. I think going for the toilet to the toilet should be for free. Mark Hollig, Charlie Chaplin dated Louise Brooks for a while. Oh, Louise Brooks was a silent. She a silent movie star? I think Mark said. Louise Brooks. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Good for them. And he was a good-looking guy, wasn't he, Charlie Chaplin? He really was when he was a young man. And he was probably very fit. All the acrobatics and stuff that he did. Amazing character, absolutely. Yeah, Gas 77, I didn't submit to the Jibby Jabs. I'm unvaccinated. Okay, good for you. Sean Harris. Ed, do you like the old gangster movies? James Cagney and the like. Top of the world, top of the world. What was that? White Heat. I kind of like James Cagney, but I much preferred Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart was the man. I mean, Jesus, he was like the Robert De Niro of his day. He was wonderful. And not only was he a great actor and very charismatic, I think he also was a little bit fortunate to being in so many great movies as well. The Big Sleep, The African Queen, The Maltese Falcon, and my own personal favorite, I thought was a wonderful movie, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. I think it's a marvelous film. Paul Hoskins, anyone experienced road rage? Anyone who hasn't experienced road rage has never driven a car, mate. I've had it lots of times. Martin Berto, you should not have to pay to use the toilet in the UK. It's disgusting that you have to pay to use public toilets in the UK. And this started in the early 1980s. It's not just that you have to pay to use the public toilet. It's the fact that there's hardly any of them. You have to walk bloody miles in order to go for a pee. Yeah, in the UK. David Cohen, when I'm in a new location, I always find the places with the cleanest free toilets. Hospitals are good. Yeah, good choice. AJ, AJ, how can I'll put that on the screen. Yeah, AJ, how can we stop all these protesters spoiling our sport events? Well, Gaz 77, came up with the solution. He reckons we should send in Tyson Fury to knock them all out. That's from Gaz 77. He suggests Fury should beat them all up. Gaz 77. Martin Bates, I just gonna put that. Gaz is an anarchist. You can tell, can't you? Yeah, absolutely. What's the word? Iconoclast. Is that what it is? Gaz 77. Martin Bates, I don't pay for the toilet. I just lob it out and take it. Absolutely. You said it. I just lob it out and take a piss on it. Absolutely. You said that very subtly there. Well done, Gaz. Well done, Gaz. Sean Harris. Boris Karloff was British and he was wonderfully charismatic. My dad told me he used to see him watching Hampshire play cricket at Dean Park. Yeah, he probably was a very British chappy as well. I mean, I know I've said this before, but when I was a kid, I used to love staying up to see Boris Karloff movies, Christopher Lee, Vincent Price, and I thought Vincent, they were all wonderful actors. Vincent Price was very charismatic and very creepy and chilling. And then I came home from school one day and I seen a kookery program on the TV. And Vincent Price was on the kookery program doing a bit of kooking. And I thought, Jesus Christ, that killed. I'll never be able to watch him in horror movies ever again. Seamus Doherty, I believe we really are heading to 1984. Yeah. That's all I can say to that one. Yes. Let me see. Oh, this is interesting. Mark Hollig, Laurel and Hardy. Look, Laurel and Hardy, absolutely. They were classic. They were one. I can still laugh at Laurel and Hardy now. Check out the music box. Chaplin returned to the USA to accept an honorary Oscar award in 1972. Yeah, absolutely. But I think he was a victim of the McCarthy witches at the time. Okay, so, thanks for that info, anyway, Mark. Paul Loskin, I don't want to use my debit card in a massage parlor. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. I don't blame you either. Credit card, maybe it's easier. David Heisenberg look-alike. The protesters are mainly toughies with their high-class names, as they do not need to work like the rest of us. Okay, yeah, that's it. Do they actually have jobs? These people? Do they actually go out and work? These people, or is that it? Okay. Jesus Christ, Mark Oliver. Chaplin said, Louise have breasts like lovely pears. Oh, a lovely pear. Oh, that sounds very, very nice. Not a lovely pear, but lovely pears. That's really, really sexy. Love it. Nice. I'll have to remember that one. Gas 77, Ed, you wish you were unvaccinated? Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens anyway. Sean Harris, if you look at Camilla's teeth, she's already a vampire and they don't look like werewolves. Okay, fair enough. Gaz says, I bet you wish you were on Max. Well, we thought it was a good idea at the time, didn't we? David Coleman, very, very vulgar about Jamaican women there. Good for you, mate, anyway. Charles Brown, Treasure of the Sierra Madre is a great film indeed. Wonderful story. If you've never seen it before, you know, it really, really, it's well worth a look. And Humphrey Bogart, I think it was a John Huston movie. I think his father, Walter Huston, may have won an Oscar for it, but Humphrey Bogart really stole that film. I mean, he played the villain in it. He didn't just actually start out as a villain, but wonderful performance from Bogey. Marvelous, well worth a look. Great story to it. David Marchant. David Marchant. They charge a public toilet to keep the addicts out. It's addicts. It's more than bloody that to keep them out. Them bastards, you know. I mean, you know that. Oh, I don't know. Some of them have got a lot more money than we have. David Coleman, great movie, 100%. But what about rage when you come home and find someone trying to steal your car? Just happened now. That's dreadful. Okay. David Coleman, Humphrey Bogart was great in every movie he ever made. Yeah, hero or villain or anti-hero. He was also very, very good in The Desperate Hours. He was in so many good movies. David Coleman, just watched Sahara with Humphrey Bogart. Yeah, we all love Humphrey Bogart. Chaz Brown, send in Frank Bruno to frighten the sports protesters away. No comment on that one. Gemini Star, I've never experienced road rage driving in Thailand. Well, it does happen. I've seen road rage between tuk-tuk drivers in Cambodia. It does happen. It does happen. Sean Harris, who would win a fight out of Tyson Fury and Charles Bronson, the prisoner? Fury, because he's a professional. Absolutely. And he's about a foot taller than Bronson. Let's see. Paul Laskin, how bad was it at Gemini? Mine was wild, lasted 4 days. Scooter Springsteen, Danny Craddock. I think you mean Fanny Craddock. Mark Oleg. I have seen Edward Scissorhands. I have seen it many years ago. I've watched it again. What wonderful. Vincent Price was in the 1990 movie Edward Scissorhands with Johnny Depp. Yeah, he was in an incredible amount of movies. Vincent Price. That was a Tim Burton movie, and yeah, it was lovely. It's really, really charming film. That I enjoyed that one. Thanks for that, Mark. Anyway, I wouldn't mind seeing that again. Excuse me, Springsteen, Fanny, yeah, and another was called Johnny, Fanny and Johnny. Legan wasn't Bacall 19. Let's see. Let's see. Legan 5591. What's a Bacall 19 when Bogey met her into have or have not? She probably always looked older than she was. Laura McCall, that beautiful, lovely, and that sexy voice, that's it. Yeah, I think she was actually very, very young when he met her. Let me see, Mark Ollig, about your topic. I'm not for any autonomous car driving. Not for me. No, not for me either. Definitely not. Not for me. I wouldn't trust them. I definitely would not trust driverless cars. Yeah, let's see. What have we got now? The Clan F1. Hey, it's getting a bit juicy with the whiter than white SNP badge. I don't want to comment on Scottish politics. I mean, that's their business, really. And there's probably a lot of people in Scotland who really, really, really like it. Stephen Tutty. Seems that Ed, have you read The Laws of Flies? Do you like? I might have read that when I was a kid, very, very young. Do you like to read or just watch it? Well, I used to read a lot of books. I read many, many books in my time. I used to read a lot of books, but I don't really do that anymore. I watch movies now. I watch movies and YouTube. It's I think you get to a stage really when you've read all the books that you want to read, and now I'd rather see the movie version of a book. I read books like Jaws and whatever before the movies came out, and obviously I used to read all the classics, the Charles Dickens stuff and all of that kind of stuff. I liked a lot of American crime fiction and that kind of stuff, but I just don't read books. I just don't have the time for that anymore. Sean Harris, it really annoys me when places won't take cash, only cards. More popular. Well, I mean, I was late catching onto cards. I was always someone with and what I noticed when I used to accumulate pound coins, and I used to pay for shopping in pound coins, and I used to annoy the hell out of people until I realized that I was and nobody else did that anymore. So I started using a credit card, and now it's the convenience of it, the amazing convenience of it. It's I go to the supermarket, I put my card in there, I pay for it, no cash. I mean, it's I very, very rarely use cash myself, but I don't think I'd like to see it disappear altogether. Sniper Juice called nickel and diamond. Sean Harris badges. We don't need no stinking badges. Yeah, I think that was the Mexican, wasn't it? That was the Mexican from Tessa de Sierra Madre. Paul Hoskins. So everyone goes cashless, then the internet stops working. What do you do? Oh, I know. Absolutely. Gaz is going. I'm going to put this. I can't put this comment on the screen because the powers that be might not like it. But Gaz never ever thought the jab was a good idea. He knows people who've had Let's say, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But Baz has some experience in people who were victims of the jab. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, Sean Adams. Clint Eastwood made a movie called White Under Black Art based on the filming of The African Queen. Was it one of Clint's best movies? That was it? Not really. A particularly good Clint movie. I think he wasn't going through a very good path when he made that movie, Clint. I think he made some, quite unsatisfactory movies right then. But I think that was the one where he was shooting an elephant, planning on shooting an elephant or something like that. Yeah, Paul Hoskin in Thailand, use your card to pay for drinks. Get home and find you pay for drinks you didn't have. That's very, very devious. Okay. Mark Hollig mentioned Charles Bronson. You know, the actor, you know, the fine actor Charles Bronson. Like Charles Bronson, Hard Times, 1975 movie. That was definitely one of his best. In Britain, it was known as The Street Fighter. The movie still holds up today. I hadn't seen it for a long time and recently watched it. Absolutely. I think that is one of those movies where Bronson was perfectly cast. I remember watching that movie and thinking I couldn't imagine another actor playing that part. He was just so damn good. And of course, James Coburn as his manager, he was all, you know, always never gave a bad performance. James Coburn, excellent. Let me see. Oh, Smashed is here. Nice to hear from you, Smashed. Nice to hear from you, Smashed. One of my early subscribers. Good evening, Ed. What was your opinion on retirement to the Philippines? A good alternative to Thailand, maybe. What was your opinion on retirement to the Philippines? Well, I don't know the Philippines as well as I know Thailand. The Philippines, you know, I liked it better the second time I went there, but a surprising amount of people are not keen on the Philippines. You know, even some of the vloggers have gone to the Philippines and said that they, you know, they don't like this country. You know, it's, you know, the infrastructure is just very, very third world. It depends where you go, really. So I've never really looked into retirement in the Philippines. I've looked into Cambodia. I did a video about you know, is Cambodia a good alternative to Thailand? But I don't really know enough about the Philippines, to be honest with you. It's a good place and it's worth going there again. Anyway, nice to hear from you, Smashed. Michael Janaeus, Humphrey Bogart was 25 years older than McCall. Well, you know, as long as they loved each other, I'm going to make another cup of hot chocolate. Whoa, all right, all right, all right. Anyway, here we are. Let's see. Okay, we've done enough about that one anyway. They're trying to control us. 1984. 1984 is coming. There we go. David Coleman. Let's start. Let's just scroll that way. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, boxing 14. Boxing 14. Eddie, they've been controlling us for decades with media, the school, education, and law. It's only really woken up people since the lockdown they came into play. We've talked about the WEF before, the World Economic Forum, and all the cronies who who seems to be in charge of it. And that geezer Klaus Schwab. Well, I'm sure that that's a subject we're going to return to again and again. I'm still in two minds about whether to allow me phone for that alarm to go off. But it'll be interesting to see it. It'll be interesting to see the alarm, see what actually happens with it. It could be the start of something good. Maybe with that, when the phone goes off, I'll be in the middle of bloody Dartmoor or somewhere, and they may think that maybe that's where I actually live. That'll fool them. Okay, boohoo. Catherine Deneuve is the sexiest woman to ever. Oh, she's a lovely woman, gorgeous woman, gorgeous woman. Let's see. Sean Harris Times is a good movie, absolutely. David Coleman, Sophia Loren. Oh, lovely, Sophia Loren. Now you're talking. Michael Janaeus, hey Eddie, we recommended a movie for you a while back. Once Were Warriors, Kiwi movie, I think. 1980. I haven't managed to catch up with that one. I don't think I've actually seen that one. But thanks for the recommendation. Gemini Star, Sophia Loren is 88 years old. Okay. Nobody gets any younger. Bottle Baby, Jane Fonda wasn't great looking, but very, very cute. She was an acquired taste, but she was a brilliant actress. I know that much. So let's see. Let's just go down a little bit. Philippines, okay. And Mark Howard, no, we have a squeaky door. I must be drinking less fluids. I'm not having to run to the bathroom as much as I used to. David Coleman, the Philippines are too dirty, and the food will make you sick, but the people are so nice. Oh well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad, is it? Paul Hoskin, time spent the cash under the mattress. Okay. Let's see. Mark Holland, I just bought another silver-proof dollar for the US Mint to put under a mattress. Yeah, well, good for you, mate. Keep collecting them. Good for you. Sean Harris, was you flying a pilotless aircraft? Somehow, I think, I'll put that on the screen. Somehow, I think a pilotless aircraft is probably safer than a driverless car. I mean, I know what the roads are like. The roads are bloody crazy there. I mean, there's all kinds of things coming out of nowhere, and I wouldn't trust being in a driverless car. I really, really wouldn't. But a pilotless aircraft, I just get the feeling that that's actually more doable. That's actually more feasible. It really, really is. Well, you've already got drones, haven't you? I mean, flight started off with the Wright brothers, and and many decades later we had Concorde. So I'd fly in a pilotless aircraft. Not now, not tomorrow or anything like that. But when they've developed them properly, I think they're on the way. I really, really do. Bottle Bay, no booze, no squeak. Bottle Bay, Philippines is the Asian Mexico. I've heard that one before. Mark Ollick, 1984, written in 1948. Yep, absolutely. We thought the 80s was the science fiction age, didn't we? And that's why when the 80s began, all of a sudden you started seeing these, these futuristic bands with synthesizers, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, George Orwell, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I read Animal Farm many years ago. Paul Hoskin, gold is a safe investment. Let's see. David Coleman, I have some Silver American Eagles, but the premium was very high. Okay, Mark Holland, yeah, 2, I hold them. Okay, let's see now. Buy Rolex and squirrel them away. They have gains equal to the fortune of 50 quid. I've never ever bought watches. Because when you have to bloody, if you have a watch, you're looking at it every 5 minutes, and not for me really. Besides, I've got a mobile phone if I want to know the time. I can see the time on my laptop right here. Wow, That's interesting. Is this breaking news? Is it? I heard something about this. Fred Mays, Fox News just got schooled for close to 800 million and admitting that they lied. Is this breaking? I heard something about this earlier on, but is this like the result of it? Well, that's going to be interesting. I'll have to check that one out. Scooter Springsteen, A Man Called Horse, is still one of my favorite all-time movies. It's a good movie. That's not actually a film I want to watch again and again. Really, I mean, Richard Harris is not really, one of my favorite actors. Mark Holland, I tried to get the Morgan CC dollars. Good for you. Good for you. Let me see. Okay. Mark Holland, you likes gold? Absolutely. That sounds bloody good. Good for you, mate. London Cabs, I've got a 10 bob note. A 10 bob note. Okay. Did they ever exist? Did they ever exist? There used to be like a saying about that. He's, about people who are nuts. Who are not totally honest. He's bent as a 10 bob note, or they invented, something else as well. Okay. Lester Bangs. Let's see. Yeah, Lester Bangs. Rupert Murdoch just lost over 750 million in a court settlement tonight. Oh, well, this must be breaking news then. Bet his new wife, too, is pissed off missing out on that. Jesus Christ almighty. That's absolutely amazing. This is breaking news. This is breaking news. I did see it earlier on. It's because, they're claiming that, they have evidence that the election was rigged, and they've got evidence of all of that. I must see that on the news. Okay. Mark Alec, a buy from the US Mint, golden proofs. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Bottle baby. Ricky Drama's cool. Leave him out of it. He's cool. He's a good guy. I met Ricky Drama and he was good fun. He really, really was good fun. Mark Alec, my kids only want gold and silver. None of my other metals. Okay. Fair enough. And thank you, Mark, for that. Let's see. Thank you, Mark, for that. Thank you, Mark, for that super chat. $125. That is very, very kind of you, mate. Cheers, mate. Something for the new internet service. Oh, the new internet service. It's coming in 2 weeks' time. I actually got a text today saying, just confirm that you're going to be in at this time on that particular day. And I said, because I have to be somewhere on that particular day. So I just say, the internet man can come as long as it's after 9:30 in the morning. And then they sent me a message back to say, to say, do you want to change it? No, I don't want to change my appointment. I want them to be here because I'll get someone else. I mean, if I can't be in, I'll get someone to, to be at home for me. But I need that internet service to come around because obviously, I think everyone's getting fed up with this. But anyway, Mark, thank you for that super chat. That really, really is kind of you, mate. And I do appreciate that. Yeah, something for the new internet service. Thanks, mate. Okay, let's have a little look here. So let's see, what was that? We were talking about Rupert Murdoch. I haven't seen this on the news. This is obviously breaking news. Let's see. Jeez, I forgot about the cocoa. Boo-hoo, what brand of cocoa? It's Cadbury's hot chocolate. And it's lovely. It's absolutely wonderful. Mark Alec, Eddie, are you addicted to the chocolate drinks? Well, no, I wouldn't say addicted. It's only since I gave up the alcohol. I only have 2 of these a day, and I'll have them back to back, really. It's always in an evening. I don't drink it during the daytime. It's just out of an evening because it's quite chill. It just seems the perfect thing to drink. And it's lovely. Cadbury's hot chocolate, lovely stuff. Do it with hot water, beautiful. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Okay, so I'm not actually addicted to it. It's just a couple of those a day, back to back, and they put you in a good frame of mind. McLaren only been to Philippines once so far, but plans to go back. David's right; it is less looked after than Thailand, but maybe that's the charm of some countries. A bit more wild. Yeah, it is. It is a bit wild, and it's some place. I mean, like Cebu. I think one thing that kills it is for people is Cebu. That's not a nice place, Cebu. Not really a nice place. I went there once and I didn't like it. But Manila, I mean, there's a lot of good places in Manila nowadays. It's well worth a visit. Angeles City is very, very raw. But it does seem a lot more, third world than Thailand. Sean Harris, out of the airlines you've travelled on, which company has the hottest stewardesses? Well. I'll tell you one airline I'd like to have gone on. I only found out this yesterday. In the about 20 years or maybe 15 years ago, Hooters. Yeah, that's right. That Hooters, the one, those glamorous girls serving the chicken and the beer. Hooters. The guys who run that actually had an airline. They actually started a Hooters airline, but it was a disaster. It was like a gimmick because the fact is a lot of the passengers wanted fried chicken when they were on board, and obviously you're not going to get that on a jet. And also the Hooters girls with hot pants and the t-shirts and all of that, they obviously weren't allowed to do what proper stewardesses do. So they were just there for the gimmick. And the idea actually fell through the floor. But they look pretty hot. I wouldn't mind giving it a go on Hooters airline. But out of the airlines you travel with, which company has the hottest stewardess? I think anything to do. I don't know if I've actually been on Singapore Airlines, but I think I went on Scoot Airways, and they were Singaporean, air hostesses. They looked absolutely beautiful. And the Thais, the Taiwanese, and they're all lovely stuff, beautiful stuff. Let's see. Okay, Paul Hoskin, David, do you have a cold coin the year of your birth? Okay. Billy Bob. Okay, I'll have to check this out on the news. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't. Must have just happened in the last hour or so. Billy Bob. Fox News settles the Dominion defamation case for 787.5 million. Lies have consequences. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Guys, have you heard about Capita being hacked, Eddie? They just told about everyone's details in the UK. Oh, I don't know. Maybe they were the ones who faked my Facebook account the other day. Paul Hoskin, I loved the Laurel and Hardy film where they were pushing the piano up there. I think I liked Swiss Miss. I seem to recall I like that one. Let's see. Okay, okay. Mark Olive, the music box, the one where they're pushing the piano up a hill. Is that the music box? Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, and if you haven't seen Stan and Ollie with Steve Coogan in it, well worth a look. That is an excellent movie. Mark Olive, chocolate is fine. I love it too. It's just a thing to drink on a cold winter's night. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Okay. Billy Bob. Let's see. Billy Bob, last minute settlement before the trial. The network agreed to pay that amount of money, 644 million quid, about half the 1.6 billion initially sought by Dominion. Fox can afford it, but it will damage their brand. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, it serves them right. They should sell it in future. Let's see. Lester Bangs, raise a mug of chocolate for Mary Quant, who died the other day. Founder of the miniskate. She was a little bit before, I know she was, but she was a little bit before my time. I mean, I was born in 62, so, I mean, I wasn't exactly, in the part of the swing in the 60s. But yeah, absolutely. I'll raise a cup of hot chocolate to Mary Quant, you know. It's funny, things went backward after that. Do you remember after the mini skirt, what became popular? The maxi skirt, like as if they wanted to cover up again. Bit crazy. Kiki and Jasmine on the Trail of Love. Cebu is a great place if you stay in the right areas. It does have dodgy areas, though. Yeah, absolutely. Have you been to Bohol? I went to Bohol and I seen the chocolate hills, and they were mint covered when I was there because they turned green at a certain time of year. Yeah, I went to Bohol. It's nice, beautiful, lovely national park there. Very, very nice. Oh, there's lots of great places in the Philippines. Let's see. Let's see. Legan, you have this big bunny plane. Had to have the hottest stewardess. Oh, he was a jammy bastard, wasn't he? You have Jesus. I mean, if there's anyone whose life I would like to live from start to finish, I mean, Hugh Hefner, you can't go wrong with him. He knew what he liked, and good for him, mate. Good for him. Mark Hollis says gold is an excellent and safe investment. Won't get rich with silver. I love silver though; it's history and all. Okay, gold is, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll go along with that. Absolutely. Fred Mays, a couple of years ago, you could fly Vietjet and the flight attendants were in go-go boots. Sexy stuff. Oh, go, Jesus Christ almighty. Bit over the top there. Gaz says, I mean, he's being serious. Captain has been hacked. Look it up online saying they hacked people's bank accounts. They got people's, oh, Jesus. This is all very, very scary. It's all very, very scary. I think I got off lightly, having someone hack my Facebook account. Well, he didn't hack it. I mean, he just impersonated it. I suppose anyone can do that. Tings, my favourite air hostesses work for Ryanair, but I hate the way they have to turn sideways to get down the aisle. Okay, fair enough. Let me see, David Heisenberg. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we'll talk about something else. We'll talk about something else. What can we talk about? Let's see something light-hearted to close the show. Anyway. Oh my God Almighty! Somebody here it's just somebody here is just somebody there. Jamie Lang from Dallas, Texas, a lovely, charming young lady with big knockers. Oh my God! Jamie Lang is updated as it's a bloke. Oh, that's the name of a bloke, and he's updated. Oh, I don't know. You get these people like these. You got to be realistic. A 30-year-old glamorous woman wants to make friends with you. They're after something. You've got to be realistic about that. So anyway, let's see what else did I want to talk about. So anyway, for those who don't know, my new inset should be coming in a couple of weeks. I think I'll keep going. I think I'll keep going until it arrives anyway. But apologies anyway. Let's see, where are we now? Okay, so no, I don't think I can do that. The thing is, I'm a bit limited with the poor internet. Until I get my new, I can get things going. I can get pictures and all kinds of stuff up on the screen when I have decent internet. Whenever that happens, anyway. Okay, so Okay, so we'll just keep going for a little bit while longer. Sean Harris says, I once flew Aeroflot late 80s because they were cheap. Attendants look like bears. Audible fish head for food, planes shaking, skilled. Oh, Jesus. It's not one of those airplanes where they take the steps away and the plane falls over. It's not one of them, is it? David Coleman says, Mark, I was going to buy gold in Thailand, but the gold is only 22 carats. I consider bullion. Okay, let's see. Let me see. McLaren F1. Ed's been trannied, lol. I have plenty of ladyboys on my old Facebook account. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So let's see. We'll do one final little question, something to talk about before the finish. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about a couple of weeks, or about a month ago, there was a young. this is a bit this is a bit bit heavy. This is, but a couple of weeks ago there was a young girl who was stabbed to death, and it was actually she was actually transgender, which means she was originally a boy, and apparently this young transgender was very, very popular on the internet, on social media, but was tragically stabbed to death. And the question, that I think this raises is, let's see if I can get that over there. There's a banner. There's a banner there. Okay. Okay, so this is a bit depressing, this subject matter, because it's very, very tragic. Like, young life was lost like that. But I couldn't help thinking when I seen this news report that this young person, this young transgender, was it was popular on social media, loves social media, and basically it followed, the social, woke society and the social media, and started thinking that you can be transgender, and I'm not saying no one can do anything about it anymore. The fact is, in this case, the real world, the violent, savage real world, came out of nowhere and put a tragic end to all of this. So the question is, is social media out of touch with the real world? I mean, what I'm saying basically is that this young person thought she was cocooned in the world of social media and the world of the modern laws we have, where you can't say anything nasty about transvestites or anything like that. But the thing is that the real world, it's got villains, it's got evil people, and these people stabbed it. And I don't know the motives or anything like that, and I can't really say that. But that's the way it seemed to me. This young person thought she was safe in the world of social media, but outside of social media, in the real world, it had tragic consequences. David Coleman. I'm not going to put that. I'm not going to put that on the screen. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So, anyone got any comment to make on that one? The social media. I know it's a bit of a depressing subject. Yeah, Gemini Star. Social media, and it's creating this confusion. Absolutely. In some ways, I think this young person was a bit of a victim of social media. Was a bit of a victim of the modern wokery, because he felt it was okay to become a she, and nobody could touch it really. Well, somebody could, because some villain come along and I think it was several people who actually stabbed, and this young child really came to a tragic end. So let's see. Yeah, David, my Filipino girlfriend is great so far, but she's a bit too religious for me. Okay. Let me see. So anyway, let me see. I can't actually say real details about this case, but it makes things a little bit depressed. It's a bit of a depressing thing to talk about right at the end. Anyway, so let's see. Okay, Sean Harris. I think social media stops a lot of youngsters going outside. Japan has major problems with young people staying in their rooms. Absolutely. Yeah. Fair. Well, obviously, I mean, I go outside less nowadays simply because there's always things to do on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever. I mean, yeah, social media definitely keeps you inside. But I thought this person felt safe, being outgoing and wanted to become famous through social media, and was oblivious to the savage real world that is out there. Really. Let's see. Smash says social media is and never will be the real world, Ed. It's an extension of the worst kind of the human experience. Okay, fair enough. That's well said. Anyway, Smashed. David Heisenberg, lookalike. If we all knew the real thing that's going on, we would all be ultra scared with what we are not being told. Okay, there's definitely something out there that's trying to control us. Definitely. Mark Oleg. Too many have keyboard courage and get into social media rages. It has not turned out the way we thought it would be back in the late 70s and 80s when we had our dial-up BBS bulletin board systems. Absolutely. I mean, you have these keyboard what they're probably not people like on social media who've said that they can't stand me and like they've recognized me when I've been in places like Pattaya or whatever. I've shook hands with them and I even had a laugh and a joke with them. It is a funny old thing, but some people take it far too seriously, you see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Sean Harris, virtual reality is becoming a big thing. Okay, well, I kind of I like the idea. I haven't gotten into that, but I kind of like the idea of virtual reality. I think that'd be fun. I think I'd enjoy some of that. I really would. Oh, David Coleman. Sean Harris. People in Japan have a lot of mental issues. A lot commit suicide, school or work. Oh, Jesus Christ, that is dreadful. Mark Olive, we have nice. The only watch this. Yeah, we have nice virtual communities. Yeah, absolutely. Fred Mays, the only time I care what's between someone's legs is when I paid the bar fine. Those that are insecure get upset with someone else's life and resort to violence. Okay, fair enough. Well said. So Mark Olive says we have nice virtual communities. Yeah, that's the way it should be. Absolutely. Billy Bob, social media has polarized society. Social media is a fantastic invention. I'm a late starter to it, but I absolutely love social media. I mean, I love YouTube. I even get into it was a long time coming. I've even gotten to Facebook, despite the obvious problems with it. It's a wonderful thing. I mean, don't forget, if you go back so many years, we thought television was a demonic thing. Television was ruining people's lives, and yet television is it's a marvelous. It was probably one of the best inventions of the 20th century. Yeah, boohoo. Certain people don't much care for progressive lifestyles. There you go. Boohoo. Certain people don't much care for progressive lifestyles. It's a clash of beliefs and will only get worse. Okay, fair enough. Which way is the world going to? London Cab Thailand says, sad times we live in now. Sad time. I mean, the thing is, when you think about it, I know you've got a point there. With all that's going on in the world. But I mean, I wouldn't want to go back to a time before social media. I mean, don't forget, in Britain when I was a kid, they only had 3 TV channels. There was BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV, and they all finished at midnight. I mean, I'd have given anything for the amount of stuff. Yeah, you know, that was even before video record. I know some rich people had video recorders back then, but the average working Joe didn't have a video recorder in the 1970s. I mean, now, even though my internet's gone down the Swanee River, I've got a DVD where I can put on movies and all this kind of stuff. So social media, the modern world is absolutely wonderful, really, if it's used properly. David Coleman, real women don't have penises. Okay, I'll go along with that. Mark Alex says, I would like some VR sex like in the movie Demolition Man with Sandra Bullock. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, I would bloody. That is actually one of my favorite science fiction movies from the 90s. Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Sandra Bullock. I've watched that one many times. Great movie, that one. Terrific. Absolutely terrific. Fred Mays, when fleshlight markets a virtual reality sex show, I'm buying too. Sean Harris. This is interesting. This is a very, very British one. Sean Harris, UFO or Space 1999. There is no contest between them two. They were both by Jenny Anderson. UFO, definitely, every time. It had wonderful imagination. It had the most beautiful women, Gabrielle Drake, Wanda Venom, some beautiful women. It had the wonderfully cold Ed Straker, played by American actor Ed Bishop. It had that beautiful futuristic car, which was really a Ford Cortina. Spaceships, UFO every time. Sorry, but the second one, Space 1999, was quite dull in comparison, really. Anyway, in fact, I think UFO is one of the greatest series ever. Yeah, Bottle Baby, the interesting stream is what TV was, the movie theaters. Yeah, very, very. I'll put that on the screen because that's a good comment, that one. That is a good comment. Bottle Baby, the internet and streaming is what TV was to movie theaters. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Good comment. Let's see. Series. People have committed suicide through social media, bullying threats, crass comments, etc. But it has good points also. Absolutely. It's brilliant. Social media is brilliant as long as it's used right. As long as you remember that it's not the real world. Let's see, Smashed is here. Smashed, it's good when it works, it should. Though there will always be bad actors in any new or emerging technology. Absolutely, absolutely. Gemini Star, this gender debate is driving everybody mad, absolutely. So McLaren, imagine a social media site, not Facebook, where you have to provide your real picture and which time you reside and not to prove it. Would be more or less on. That's a good comment, that, Clive. That is really, really, really good comment. Imagine a social media site, not Facebook, where you have to provide your real picture and which time you reside and have to prove it. Would be more or less online bullying. I'm pretty sure these bastards would find a way around that. They would find a way around that one way or the other. But yeah, that's a really, really good point, that, mate. Really good point. Black and white minstrel show. We don't talk about that any more than we talk about dark puppets in public houses. David Coleman, do you really want drag queen children? No, I don't. You know, that's social media. That's the bloody woke. That's the woke. Yeah. What's this? Lester Bangs. I'm a man, but I think I'm a zebra. I'm in the process of crossing over. Okay, get your pajamas off. Okay, Chaz Brown. Okay, okay. I wish I had some pictures of UFO and Gabrielle Drake to upload. I probably have somewhere, but the problem is that the internet it just wouldn't do it. the state that it's in right now. Chaz Brown, UFO much better than Space 1999. Like you said, the women were nice, even if some had purple wigs on that moon base. Absolutely. Gabriel, I mean, in the opening scene, isn't it a scene where Gabriel Drake changes, from a, she's wearing something, she puts a mini skirt. Oh, God Almighty! Absolutely, yeah. If anyone out there has never seen UFO, check it out. It is absolutely amazing. It was actually filmed as far back as, would you believe, 1968. And it does have a bit of a swinging 60s feel, but the lineup of women and these spaceships and everything, it's great fun. One of the best TV series ever. Let me see now. Sean Harris, UFO purple wigs on moon base. I had a crush on Wanda Venom. Oh, she was a real MILF. Mother of Benedict Cumberbatch. Said, well, I've learned something. Yeah, I didn't know that was his mother. I never knew she was the mother of Benedict Cumberbatch. He's a fine actor, but she's a lovely woman, and he's not exactly, yeah, he hasn't inherited their good looks as far as I'm concerned. He's a really, really, really good actor, Benedict. But Wanda Venom, what a gorgeous woman. What a gorgeous woman she was. Yeah, David Heisenberg. Yeah, let ET's aliens. I bet they're in government, these human rights. And I think aliens are under the earth and under the sea oceans. As you know more about the moon, Mars than our seas, oceans. Okay. And didn't someone say that the royal family are a bunch of lizards? I've heard all kinds of theories there. Let's see now. Mark Ollig. Yeah, I recall when they thought movie theaters were going to business when VHS came out. One could watch movies at home, but people like being out with others. I could not stay home all the time. Yeah, you were right. I mean, that was like at the end of the 1970s when video recorders were really starting to boom, and the idea that people were getting movies in their own homes, the latest movies. I think what did Mel Brooks have to say about that? And because people were projecting around about 1980 that was the future. Cinemas were going to go out of business, and people were going to stay home to watch to watch movies. And Mel Brooks was the one who commented that if this is really going to happen, then how do I know if my latest movie is funny? To go around and peep through people's windows to see if everybody's laughing. I mean, that was Mel Brooks' comment on it. But cinemas they made a comeback in a big way, didn't he? Let's see, Quinn of C. I remember that. I'll put this on the screen. Quinn FC. I remember the dark days of adjusting the aerial on top of my black and white portable TV to try and get a decent picture. And hoping at some point in the evening schedule there'd be a glimpse of boobies. I remember all that. Did you ever kick the TV? I mean, that was the that was the educated response. If TV is playing, I'd give it a good kick. Legend has it that the Queen. This is a story that the Queen was having a portrait done in the 1970s, and while she was having a portrait done by a professional artist, she was watching TV, and the TV started playing up, and the artist was a bit embarrassed. Sorry, ma'am. The TV's playing up, and she said, "Shall I go and give it a good kick?" I'd like to think that was true there. Sean Harris, great opening credits. I don't know the year it was supposed to take place was 1984. Oh, geez, yeah, that wasn't very far into the future, was it? Mark Ollig, I like watching V television series in the mid 1980s. That was I don't know what I was doing at the time, but that advertised a lot when it came to British television. But I never actually got around to seeing that one. I'd like to have seen it. Looked good. The Clan of 1V was awesome. Then they grabbed the rats by the tail and ate them. Bottle Baby, Lost in Space, still have the hottest outfits. Oh, no, UFO is the one. Anything with Gabriel Drake in it. Absolutely. Chaz Brown, UFO was made around 1969, but was set in 1980. The starting title used to flash in 1980, not that far in the future. Since I mean, we thought back then, didn't we, that it wouldn't be long before we all had our own personal spaceships. And now, you know, those days, 1980, seems so deep in the past, and we're still having to drive cars to get to work. Yeah, boo-hoo. We just want to be able to get married. We demand to be allowed in ladies' rooms. Is where we're not too far. Yeah, I think he's talking about trannies there. Mark Oleg loved how they down those rats. I've never seen they. I must keep up with it one of these days. Catch up with it one of these days. Mark Oleg. These are all great series, weren't they? Lost in Space, Star Trek, Time Tunnel. I remember Voids in the Bottom of the Sea. I used to watch that one quite a lot. That was a really good one. And UFO. That was the British version of Star Trek, and I loved it because Gabriel Drake was in it. David Heisenberg. I'm watching Space 1999 on TV as well right now. It was good, but what the problem I had with Space 1999 was that the actors in it weren't much fun. They looked a little bit miserable and a bit older, didn't they? And I mean, it was in it. Martin Landau, Barbara Sumner, Barry Morse. They didn't have the great personality of UFO. That was far more fun. Smashed 80s TV shows better than any rubbish out today. Okay, fair enough. I'll go along with that. Yeah, it's Sean Harris. Sweeney or Professionals? Sweeney. Okay, Tinkerbell, you're nicked. I mean, to be honest with you, the Sweeney took things forward because that was a groundbreaking earthy police series, whereas the Professionals a few years later took things backward again. Starsky and Hutch or Kojak? Well, Starsky and Hutch was more fun, but Kojak was probably more sophisticated, wasn't it? David Coleman says social media is destroying society from within. Okay. Smashed. Has to be the sweet. Remember where you are, absolutely. Mark Alex, Betamax. Yeah, I used to use that. I think I had better quality or pricey. I missed a Betamax somehow. By the time I came to video recorder, someone told me not to get a Betamax because I wouldn't get a tape to be able to play on it. So I kind of missed Betamax. Sean Harris. Your theme was a hot brunette and a hot blonde that hated each other. Okay, I'll have to check that series out one of these days. Let's see. Who's this? Sean Harris, Jeannie or Lucy. It was that I Dream of Jeannie or Lucy. It is Lucy. I think who's the one who was in Bewitched? I like that. I liked her. Mark Alec. Oh yeah, yummy Barbara Eden or all these lovely hot women. Legan says it's the streaming services now that are doing in the theatres. Cinema chain is closed. 2 16-inch theatres around there. And another thing, don't forget, that is really put a nail in the coffin of the cinemas is the fact that you can buy, a big TV now. TVs are huge nowadays, and they're not that expensive. I mean, you can have almost a real cinematic experience in your own home. So it's not as if you're watching it on an ordinary little TV anymore. Okay, Sean Harris, Bewitched. Rusty Lid, Logan's Run with Jenny Agutter. Anything with Jenny Agutter was worth watching. Absolutely. Mark Ollie, Who Loves You, Baby? They had some characters, didn't they? Because even a kind of bald head in the 70s, it was like a kind of novelty, wasn't it? I mean, in the 70s, we used to say that the Americans have some strange police officers. You've got, you've got one with a glass and a dirty raincoat, one with a bald head. It's well, one with a cowboy hat. We had some real characters whereas we had, bloody softly and Z cars, that sort of stuff. Of course, everything changed when the Sweeney came along. David Eisenberg, Barbara Bain. Yeah, she wasn't really very exciting, was she? Oh, this is a nice comment. If social media are people like you, Eddie, everything will be fine. Makes my evening when you up. That is so nice of you. That is so nice of you. Really, really nice to say. Let's see. Okay, Mark Allen, Mission Impossible. I didn't really watch too much of the TV series, but I do like the modern movies. I watched one the other night from bloody good stuff. Okay. Let's see. Mark, I love that 70s pornography music on those tapes. Oh, they were the days. And they were nice and airy in those days, the ladies as well. Lovely stuff. Yeah, Sean Harris. Bewitched was Elizabeth Montgomery, yeah. Mark Alec, McLeod. Oh, yeah, that was Dennis Weaver, wasn't it, McLeod? That was good. It was great. I really enjoyed that. And I also loved the TV version of Shaft. I mean, I read books of Shaft where he was a really violent character. Then they cleaned him up a little bit for the movies, and then by the time it came to the TV series, he was a real he was a real clean cut kind of bloke. But yeah, McLeod was excellent. I think that might have been inspired by Coogan's Bluff. In a way, Coogan's Bluff was Clint's crossover from doing Western movies to doing urban thrillers. Let's see. Best robot, God, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Marvelous movie. Absolutely marvelous. Stuart Marsden, bit out of the air, but Life on Mars was a belting series. Life on Mars, yeah, good. And he was a fine actor in it. That Philip, whatever his name is. I call it The Wild Wild West. I think it's that Will Smith and what's his name? Tommy Lee Jones. Sean Harris. Okay, first full porn movie. A bunch of lads watching some jumpy German movie, but blokes had big moustaches. Kelly Trump. Has anyone ever seen Kelly Trump? That blonde one in German. We call her a very, very German girl. Wonderful stuff. Mark Alec, Robert Conrad, Ross Martin, absolutely. David Heisenberg says, my dad was a spitting image of Dennis Weaver in McLeod. Absolutely. That was a real good series. That I really did enjoy that one. Anyway, guys, listen, we've been on for an hour and 48 minutes. Okay, now this internet, I know, I keep apologizing for the internet. I know that it's bloody awful. I know that it's awful, but it will get better. I mean, a couple of weeks back, I was thinking, like, I can't really go on like this, but we managed to keep things together anyway. We still got a really, really great crowd in there. So I really, really, really do thank everyone for being patient and sticking with this during these times of awful internet. So I'll leave this comment here. Mark Ollig, Linda Lovelace was nice too. Lovely stuff. Absolutely. I wouldn't say no. Okay, Mark Ollig, great live stream this evening. Okay, thanks for that, mate. Anyway, and thanks once again, Mark, for that super chat. Much appreciated. Anyway, cheers, mate. Yeah, cheers, mate. Okay, so I'm going to say good night. It's Tuesday night. I'll be back on Thursday at 10 o'clock. Like I say, the internet it's still a couple of weeks away before I get it replaced. But thanks for coming along. Have a great week, guys. And thanks for turning up. I'll see you on Thursday at 10 p.m. UK time. Cheers, guys. Have a good week.